Hello again, everyone. This is American Idioms Part 93. This is the 93rd video in my American Idioms series, and like the others, I'll present 5 idioms to you numbered 461 to 465. But first, I'll give you a chance to guess their meanings. Then I'll give you the answers along with an additional example for each new idiom. I also recommend that you pause the video at each question to give yourself some extra time to think of the answers. So, are you ready? Okay, here we go. Number 461. To be on a roll. And the example is, our company was on a roll until the recession began last month. Now, everyone at work is worried about their jobs. Can you guess the meaning? And the answer here is B. To be experiencing a particularly successful period. And that's what it means if you are on a roll, or to be on a roll. Like in our example, they're talking about how this company was on a roll. They were doing well. They were very successful at that time. And then the recession began, right? And then because of the recession, everybody was scared about losing their job, okay? Because business is not good during a recession, all right? So they were on a roll, they were in a successful period, but then the recession began. Here's another example. Our football team has won 8 games in a row. We're definitely on a roll. I sure hope we can keep it going. All right, so this team is on a roll right now, right? They've won 8 games in a row, meaning that they're very successful in this particular period. Okay? They're on a roll. That's what it means. You got it? Okay, now for number 462. To hang a right. And the example is, I got lost on my way to my grandmother's house last night when I hung a right at the wrong intersection. Can you guess the meaning? And the answer here is C, to make a right turn. Okay, it can be usually in a car, but you can hang a right when you're on your bike. I'm not sure if we use it for when you're walking, to hang a right. Most of the time it's with a car. To hang a right means to go right or to make a right turn. Like in our example, the person hung a right or made a right turn at the wrong intersection. Okay? Here's another example. We're late because I told my wife to hang a right at the corner, but she went straight instead. Okay, so the person told his wife to turn right at the corner, but she went straight. Okay, now we also use this to hang a left, to make a left turn. So we can say to hang a left means to go left, or hang a right to go right. We don't say hang a straight. All right. Now for number 463, shooting fish in a barrel. And the example is, Gerard is a good carpenter, so building a tool shed for us will be like shooting fish in a barrel for him. Can you guess the meaning? And the answer here is A, a task or activity that is easy to accomplish, like literally shooting fish in a barrel. If fish are in a barrel, they can't move, right? So it's going to be easy to shoot them. Okay? That's where this comes from. Something that's very easy to do. Like this example here where if this guy Gerard was a good carpenter, it would be very easy for him to build a tool shed. Okay? It would be like shooting fish in a barrel. Here's another example. Unlike in the past, setting up a new computer today is like shooting fish in a barrel. Anyone can do it. All right, so it's easier today than ever before to set up a computer. Usually a few steps and you can set it up, which means that it's like shooting fish in a barrel. And now for number 464. Set in one's ways. And the example is, my uncle still uses the flip phone, and I told him that he should get a smartphone. But he's too set in his ways, so he'll never do it. Can you guess the meaning? And the answer here is B. A person with fixed habits and ideas which they are unwilling to change. That's what it means if you are set in your ways. Like in our example, this person's uncle was set in his ways. He was used to the flip phone. He didn't want to change. Okay, he was fixed in what let's say, the habit of using a flip phone. All right, so he wouldn't change. So he was set in his ways. Like our next example. Many companies today prefer to hire younger people more than they used to because these people are not set in their ways. And they find them easier to train than older people who are usually set in their ways. All right, now we have the contrast, right? A younger person might not be set in their ways, so maybe they'll listen more or they'll do things the way that they're told. In contrast to the older people who are usually set in their ways, so maybe it will be harder to train them, according to what these companies say. And now for our final idiom, number 465. To stay ahead of the curve. And the example is, businesses that want to stay ahead of the curve usually do extensive market research before they do anything. Can you guess the meaning? And the answer here is B. To be among the first to adopt new ideas or ways of doing things that later become popular, meaning that they're ahead of the competition, whatever it may be. Like in our example, they're talking about how businesses, right? They do this market research or extensive market research, so they are ahead of their competition. Okay? That's what it means to stay ahead of the curve. Now, I have a similar idiom in part 72, which is to stay ahead of the pack. Both idioms mean the same thing, they're just worded a little bit differently. Here's another example. If you want to stay ahead of the curve in the fashion industry, you need to pay for some expert advice, which is usually very expensive. All right, so according to this example, to stay ahead of the curve, you must pay for this expert advice, which is usually expensive. Okay, they want to stay ahead of the competition. Got it? That's all for this video. Thanks again for subscribing, and please like and share the video to support the channel. Now, learning idioms is not like shooting fish in a barrel. So, remember what I always say. Keep practicing. See you next time.